Well, I hope you enjoyed. That's the new intro I just did because I had nothing else to do. I was bored. So I said, let me make a new one. I try to do a new one every year. And of course, with the situation that happened earlier this year, I hadn't been quite able to. So I did one the other day and new music, new images, and there you go. I'll probably have to play it again for those who got here a little late and missed it because that's my new baby and I just want to make sure everyone sees it. So welcome to What the Fuck Tuesday. This is the live stream advice show where people send in their questions in advance, and some of them, not all of them, are chosen to be in each week's column. I read the questions out loud, and then I give my sometimes intelligent analysis of the problem and make recommendations. That's on a good day. On other times, people are just going to get dragged. I don't know what to say because sometimes people do some stuff that they knew was the wrong thing to do and they got busy doing it. So they get told about themselves. And some people write in and they know that that's what's going to happen and they just ask me to please do it gently. So it's always interesting. It's always fun. Hopefully you will learn at least what not to do from many of these questions because these people make some gross errors in judgment. And today, I forgot to look before I tossed the cover page. Oh, today we have 26 questions, so one more than we normally do. If you wrote in a question, you should have received an email back from Candace letting you know that your letter was going to be in the column this week. We don't tell you where it's going to be because, like which number question, because we move them around as I understand it. She sometimes will move them if like to keep things, two letters that are kind of similar away from each other so people aren't bored. That kind of, mix it up between men and women in the UK, the US, Canada, wherever. So there's a lot of thought that goes into it. I'm not really sure how she does, but that's not my job. My job is to answer the questions. So here we go. This is question number 1 of 26 today for those who like to keep track of those things. This is a young man. He's in the 22 to 27 age group, a Taurus. He's black from Wilmington, North Carolina. Hey, Auntie, I've been talking to this girl for a while, and things seem to be going great, but we aren't ready to commit to each other. So we decided to just be FWBs. All right. However, a lot of the stuff we do would indicate more than just an FWB relationship. We go on dates. We hang out with each other. We text every day, sleep over, doing public displays of affection, and obviously getting busy. The previous FWBs I've had have been strictly about the you know what and nothing more. I just feel that this FWB situation is a little more than FWB and would like to understand some ground rules we can lay to prevent anyone from being hurt. Okay, it's too late for all that. Home skillet. Y'all done already crossed over the deep ravine into dating. Now, that's the part that you don't seem to get. You young people don't understand what dating is about. Dating is doing everything that you're doing right here while you get to know the person. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily, you don't say how long ago, you've been, you say a while. I mean, what does that mean? For a couple of weeks, couple of months. I mean, what does that mean? But, everything that you're doing is that you guys are like in a relationship, although you, quote, don't want to commit to one, end quote. What is the difference, please explain to me, than what you're doing and not wanting to commit? Are you doing the same thing with other girls too? That would be the only difference. You don't mention that. And she's seeing other guys, you don't mention that. So that leads me to believe that you two are only seeing each other, which means that you are in some kind of Mickey Mouse relationship. Even if you want to pretend like you're not, it doesn't change the fact that you are. Okay. So since you are the guy leading this, right? Y'all want to be the leaders. You want to be, women submitting all this old stuff here. So what I would suggest is that you sit down and you say, look, I know that's what we said when we first started, doing all this because, both of us were probably trying to protect our feelings, but we've already crossed that marker, crossed that bridge, and there's no going back. So I take it that we a couple now. What do you feel about that? And she's gonna say, okay. And then there you go. Okay, that's all it's gonna take. I mean, because see, with FWBs, you don't sleep over. FWBs, you don't go on dates. I mean, you might bring some food by, in the car before you go to somebody's house to to start getting busy, you might do a drive-through or something like that, but you don't be going on dates. That's not what you do. You might watch a movie or something at one of another's house while you lay up after your good time has been had, something like that. But you don't go out on dates in public. You don't hold hands and kiss and all this kind of stuff. You don't do all that with FWBs. There's like somewhere in my email, I have I mean, it was kind of funny. This it's a was it FWB contract or rules of engagement for something like that. I'm gonna have to try to find it. It's somewhere on one of my drives. I have 4 drives in this computer with stuff going back as far as the 90s. Okay, so somewhere in there it's saved, and that's what it is. I'll have to try to find it. But I remember it specifically spelled out that these are the kind of things that you don't do when you have an FWB. And other everyday stuff, you don't do that either. So you guys are already in a relationship. You just confused my young love. Okay, get it together. Ooh, question number 2. Female, 22 to 28. She's black. She's in Washington, D.C. She says, recently, my boyfriend confessed to me that in a previous relationship, he cheated on his partner, and it's been on my mind ever since. I wonder what in the world possessed him to tell you that. Let me get over here to the page where you all are. Okay, I have to be over the page so I can see all y'all crazy comments. All right. Wow, this is interesting. I wonder what he was thinking that made him say that. It must have been like a warning. He claims at the time that he was struggling with heavy drinking and was blackout drunk when it happened, and he hated himself for it when he remembered, and he told his partner a day or two after. Although it was clearly a while ago and he's now doing so much better, I can't help but feel slightly unsettled by knowing this. I'm already quite an insecure person in relationships, and I feel this might make my jealousy so much worse, which I know is a me problem, but I don't know how to just forget about it. Any advice? I would suggest that you look at my video on boyfriends so that you understand that having a boyfriend don't mean squat. Okay? You're still single. It's just somebody you just dipping with. Now, I suppose you have some, again, like the other guy, you have some kind of Mickey Mouse relationship, but see, for me, for a man to tell you that he was that trifling, especially when he knows that you're already insecure, I take that as a warning. Now, that might not be how he meant it, but that sure is how I would take it. He's telling you what kind of character he has. And for me, the same claim, trying to hide behind, I was so drunk, I don't go for that either, because being drunk doesn't put anything into your mind. It just makes you drunk. So if you cheating while you're drunk, that means that was already on your mind to do. The alcohol just lets you be free to do it. So to me, if you're already an insecure person about relationships and getting cheated on and stuff like that, this is not the guy for you. Now, I've warned you, so you use that information in whatever way that pleases you. Question number 3, this is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She says she's mixed race and she's from London. Her partner is a black male, 57 to 65, and he's black. Oh, probably a daddy or uncle or something. Okay, anyway, let's see. I am confused about whether I should allow my dad to stay overnight in my place the night before he flies out. I'm 25 and I live with 2 female flatmates who are my age, and we're in a different city than my parents. We each have our own room and attached washroom, with the kitchen and the living room being shared spaces. Oh, that's nice. 3 bathrooms? My parents are divorced. My mom is white and my dad is black. We haven't lived with him since I was 10, except for visits for a few weeks. My dad visited me about a month ago while in transit to another country for business, and he spent 2 nights in my room. He kept to my room for the most part and minimized time in shared spaces like the living room. My mom has always told me about how my dad lacks social etiquette when it comes to staying at other people's homes, often overstaying his welcome. He doesn't like to stay at hotels, I guess because he's a mixture of stinginess and a desire for company. And also, it just seems he's very obtuse and inept at understanding social etiquette and hints when it comes to inviting himself to other people's homes. Since it was my first time, my dad came over last month and he was seeing my house for the first time. I thought it was okay. One of my flatmates' parents also stayed over for a week in the past. However, my mom and my aunt think that it's inappropriate for my dad to stay overnight at my place, given that I have two young female flatmates. They think it would be better if he booked a hotel. My dad told me that he's in transit to another city once again and is stopping by my city for a few hours on Saturday night and will stay overnight and catch a flight the next morning. It's only one night, but I'm feeling irritated and not too happy about this. I'm really confused and I need inputs on what's right and wrong here. I'm thinking of maybe having a conversation with him, letting him know that when my other friends' parents went to visit town, they stayed at a hotel as opposed to sharing apartments that their kids live in. I would really love it if my dad did this of his own accord because I don't want to anger him or hurt his feelings, since I think he doesn't understand different perspectives like this, which is why he exhibits bad social etiquette and inappropriate behavior with other hosts sometimes. Please help me. Open your goddamn mouth. This is stupid. And you act like this man in his 60s doesn't understand. He understands full well. There's no reason for him to come there where you have two young female roommates. Tell his dusty, crusty butt to go stay at a hotel. And if he has any problem with that, then tell him you don't know what else to tell him. But you don't call me and tell me you coming to stay at my house. You ask me if it's okay so I can tell you no. Well, I let you stay once and that was it. Your card is punched, Pops. You don't stay here. There's three girls here, only one of which is me. It's inappropriate for any man to be coming up in here, spending the night here with us. You're not going to do that. Okay, their parents don't like it. I don't like it. Mom doesn't like it. Auntie, whatever, doesn't like it. And so it's not going to happen. You're gonna spend that night in a hotel or some kind of rooming center or some kind of hostel. I mean, I guess they won't. It's too old for Utah still. But he's going to have to stay somewhere, and that's what you tell him. You can't stay here. You stayed that one time, and that's it. We can't do that anymore. It's inappropriate for you to be here with these young girls. That's not going to happen. And that's all you have to say. And if he wants you to be with him, then he can get a hotel. You could go stay at the hotel with him when y'all visit over there. But tell him he's not going to be spending the night at your house. And that's just it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, and no further explanation needed. No is the answer. I wish I would have if I had female roommates and let my father come up in there. That so would never have happened. My brothers either. No males in my family. Because see, my thing is always, yeah, it might be cool and everything might be gravy, but you just never know. And I don't want any kind of setup where it's going to be some drama and then I'm going to be in the middle of it. No, we're not doing that. Even if she claims it was consensual and you know what I mean? I just, no. If you want to be with him, you get it to go. He's going to pick you up and you're going to go to the hotel with him over there somewhere. You're not going to be in the house here. That's not going to happen. Well, I don't care what he do as long as he's not there. I mean, you can go sleep down there in the sleeping bag with the homeless people. That works too. Go sleep on the church bench, whatever. I mean, whatever you want to do. Sleep at the airport. Plenty of people do that when they have to catch a flight out and they don't want to get a hotel for a couple hours. They just cover themselves up on one of them benches with the seat and lean back, put their feet up on top of their suitcase and knock out. Happens all the time. So he can do that too. Question number 4. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She says she's white from Atlantic City, New Jersey. For those of you wondering about that, I added that to the form a couple of weeks ago because people said that, the ethnicity may make a difference. And some people would volunteer that information anyway and explain it. I never asked, but and some people don't, as we see, don't fill it in. It's completely optional, but some I think want me to know for whatever reason they have. Okay, so she's 22 to 27 white, Atlantic City. The guy is 22 to 27 as well. He's also white. I've been with my boyfriend almost a year now, and we moved in rather quickly after starting our relationship. And now, for some weeks, I've noticed that we have an emotional different distance living in our place with us. The past few months, I've been under constant stress because of money. I have a gambling addiction. Oh, and you got a gambling addiction and you live in Atlantic City. That's not a good place for you to be. And I've been trying to sort out my financial problems that were caused by that addiction. In the beginning of our relationship, I've used a lot of reasons why I can't go out for food or to go to the movies or to go as often as I wanted. Some weeks ago, I sorted my problems out, but I know that me and my not being able to make proper plans with him or change plans at the last minute took a toll on our relationship. And of course, I feel really bad about it. I know that he was there for my mood swings and was always very understanding. He knew that I was sorting out money problems, but I think that he's just a little sick of it now. I'd like to get rid of the distance between us that my behavior created. It's not only me that's distancing because there's problems circling in my head, but it's him too now. My feeling is telling me that he got a reality check and wants nothing to do with me, even though we spoke about the distance and he claims he wants to get rid of it too. I would like some advice on some tools I can use to leave this behavior behind me and try to be myself and live a normal life with my partner. You all this drama in a year. Why y'all move in together and you didn't get your business straight yet? Is it to save money? I'm thinking if you had you see, when we have problems, personal problems, we have to focus on that. Unemployment, addictions, dependencies, family drama, health conditions, whatever it is, all our energy needs to be focused on that. It's inappropriate to try to involve yourself in a new relationship and putting that person in your mix of all this twisted drama when you can't really devote that much time and positive energy to them or the relationship. So here they are giving to you, supporting you, needing from you, and you're not really available emotionally or mentally, and for you financially either, to meet their needs. It's a waste of time. You had no business moving in with this guy. So I'm going to say this: if he's gotten to the point where he's sick of you and, the relationship was full of all the stress and strife from the get-go, out the gate, it was drama. You better just start looking for a place to live now that you got your stuff straight, because that's what's coming. He don't want to do this anymore. You picked up on it, and he's said he has distance, but he wants to, quote, work on it. My thing is, when you only been dating somebody for that short period of time, you don't work on anything. You just break up because that's what that's all about. You're not compatible. You can't do it. You guys are in different spaces at different times. That's what dating is. All right, so let's move on to the next one. That is just too much work for less than a year relationship. Yeah, see, Sweet Melody slept at the airport. I did that one time when I was coming back from Puerto Rico. My flight got canceled. I mean, I didn't plan it, but when it got, next flight wasn't going to be till the next, well, it was about 6 hours later. And they're like, oh, we'll put you in a hotel. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Get, lay down and get there and all that. Didn't have to get up early enough to come back and all that stuff. I'm like, no, I'll just knock out here. So I took a big jokey jacket out of my suitcase, covered myself up, and that was the end of that. Question number 5. This is a young man in the 18 to 21 age group. He's African American from Chula Vista, California. Background story. I dated my ex-girlfriend Jasmine for 2 months, and he put Jasmine in quotes, so you know that's not a real name, at the end of 2019, and then broke up on good terms. I have a friend, Anthony, he's 21, and so am I, who studies at the same college as Jasmine. Okay. Now, I used to go to that college too, but I changed majors and changed colleges in December. Okay, a lot of the information is probably not really that relevant. I'm still hurt from the breakup. What? You only dated her for 2 months. How you that hurt? And that was 2019. And we in 2022. Okay, let me keep reading. I'm still hurt from the breakup, but I'm sure my love for her vanished a long time ago. Now Jasmine and Anthony have been friends before I even started dating her, and they're still friends and play tennis at college and go out to draw once a month. All of this with my BFF, who's also their friend, and 2 or 3 more people. Okay, so it's a whole group of them. A few hours ago, I checked Instagram and I see Anthony uploaded a few stories, but the ones that caught my attention are 2. One where he took a picture of my ex-girlfriend with a drawing filter, and another where he took a picture of her sketchbook, and you can see her legs too with the same filter. Okay. I feel betrayed. I feel awful. I don't know what to do. Wait. I have to go over this again. You broke up with her at the end of 2019, 20, 21, 22. We're almost 3 years ago, and you having all these emotions about it. Okay, I just want to keep this straight in my head as I keep reading this novel you wrote. Now, I don't know if they're officially dating. I'm just suspecting that given the pictures, the fact that they play tennis together, and since one time I found an account where she uploads her drawings and the only mutual following her was Anthony. When I asked him if it was her account, he replied yes with attitude, like he was upset or something. Should I still be his friend? Should I, if they are or end up dating, cut friendship with him? I don't know if my mental health could take it. I know I sound jealous or whatever. That's why I want advice on what to do so I don't end up messing up big time. Thank you. Okay. You are being hella stupid. I mean, to the point where you so far off the stupid range, it's just you at the end of it. Okay, you way down the road, down over there somewhere on Stupid Avenue. You dated this girl for 2 measly months. That's a few weeks. And it was years ago. And you knew they knew each other before she started dating you. So that's probably, this is her buddy. Now, if they do decide, oh, yeah, maybe we should date or we get together, this and that, then fine. Because it doesn't involve you. You friends with him, I guess, but any involvement you had with her was over years ago. So, dude, I'm going to say this. If it really bothers you that much, or you couldn't stand the thought of seeing them together, then yeah, you have to break your friendship with them. And that would be for your own mental health. Because for you, to me, somebody who's going through all of this over a 2 month relationship that happened 3 years ago, you need some therapy. And I'm not joking right now. You need some counseling because this is not normal. It's not normal to hang on to have all these kind of emotions about a 2 month relationship that happened 3 years ago. This is very abnormal. I wouldn't know what to call it, what kind of psychosis it is, but it's definitely on that spectrum in there somewhere. So you need to figure out how to use your college health plan and get you a couple of sessions with a therapist so you can move past this. Because this kind of hanging on to stuff is going to hold you back in life. You're never going to be able to move forward if you keep hanging on to the past like this. It's extremely unhealthy for you. It's going to be unhealthy for any new partners you have. It's just going to be a disaster, just a shit show. So you get yourself some help and figure out why you are so invested in a 2 month relationship that ended 3 years ago. Because I just really don't get it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't want to, try to diagnose what's going on with him. Because, there could be some things he didn't say in here, some kind of dependencies, some kind of, spectrum issues, some kind of abusive. I mean, there's so many things it could be. I don't really want to even venture a guess. That's why I want him to go and get some help for this. Because this is just not normal. And he's so young, it's just gonna really mess his life up if he doesn't do something about it now. Let me get some water. God, why is my throat so dry today? Okay. Question number 6 of 26. Female in the 22 to 27 age group, African American. She's a Cancer from Austin, Texas. The young man is 28 to 34 age group. He's also African American. I'm 24 and I go to the gym in the mornings because that's what works best for me. I trained with a trainer there initially for just about a month, over a year ago. And since then, I just had small talk with him whenever I go because he's there at the same time training other people. This guy's probably in his late 30s. I'm just nice to him because he always comes up to say hi. I don't go out of my way to make an effort to do anything with him. In the short conversations we've had, he brings up meeting me up outside the gym. I think he means it as friends, but I am nothing close to being interested. I have a boyfriend. I gave him the wrong number with a few digits moved around or changed on purpose, but I think he looked up my number through the information I provided at the gym because I got a text from him asking to meet up. I don't want to be confrontational and tell him that it's creepy that he found my actual number, although I gave him the wrong one because since I like to go in the morning, I will definitely see him there. I don't know what to do. I can't use the boyfriend card because he's not asking you on a date. He just wants to meet up. What you think he's asking you? To hold hands and pray? What the fuck? Don't be trying to play stupid. You know better than this shit. Because he just wants to meet up casually. Deb, do I just ignore and block him? I'm sure he'll come up and mention it if he sees me at the gym. Do I look for another gym? Okay, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Open your damn mouth. What kind of woman runs from a guy like this? This doesn't make any damn sense for you to be this cowardly. When dude comes up to you at the gym, you say, look, I'm not trying to meet up with you. I don't know how you got my real number because I didn't give it to you. So that's some weird, unprofessional, I'm probably sure violating your policies of your job thing that you did. I'm going to tell you right now, flat out, do not talk to me anymore. Don't bother me. Don't say hi to me. Don't do nothing. Do your job and I'm going to go do my workout. If you come up trying to creep up on me again, I'm going to report to you to your manager and tell him what you did. So that's your last chance. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't know why that's so hard. Why is that so hard for you? I'm going to tell you this. The way things are going in this world, you ladies better. Well, I mean, she don't really have anything to report unless she saved. I mean, he sent texts. But knowing her, she probably deleted them anyway because she, just not thinking like that. But, what he could say is, well, she gave me her number since he did call. You see what I mean? There's just too many things that's going to be her word against his. And nothing's really happened because she hasn't gone out with him. So, when you report somebody, you do it right then while it's, while whatever's going on is going on. You don't wait 2 or 3 weeks later to report it. That's some bullshit. Because then, you what are you doing? What are you going to use as your evidence? So I don't start reporting anything until you have this conversation. Then if he insists on doing more, then you can say, look, I told him because he kept trying to get me to go out with him, and I told him I don't want to. I gave him a fake number. Somehow he found my real one. And then that's when you put it. And then you say, okay, now, and I told him when I was here, blah, blah, blah day, that, not to fucking talk to me anymore because he's getting really weird and I don't like it. And yet here he is again. You need to do something about it. So then you can connect all the dots. You see what I mean? They'll have to do something. But you're just saying, well, he called me. And they're going to be like, okay, well, you used to be his client, right? She said she trained with him, right? So so how would she prove that he didn't already keep her number from then? She wouldn't know that. That's what I'm saying. Just running around reporting that right then until she speaks up is not the way to do it. That's just not how you handle yourself. You got to think about these kind of things. She said at the top of the letter that she trained with him for about a month. Remember that? You guys forgot that part? So he has her information already. It's just a matter of if he kept it when she stopped training with him or not. As for me, I used to keep all my clients' contact information. Because when they came back, I want to be able to look and see what I did with them and what we talked about. If I did their new member assessment, what their problem was, what their goals were. I kept that information for myself. And that's, so I could hit the ground running when they came back 2, 3, 4, 6 months later, talking about they were ready to train. So that would be my recommendation. Stop being a fucking coward. Speak the hell up. You're a grown ass woman. And you sitting up there, oh, should I change gyms? I'm running like a big baby. Trainers all know each other. Did you know that? You in the industry in the same city, everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows who's the fitness manager at this gym. Everybody knows everybody. So you changing gyms is not gonna do squat. Because they'll be able to say, yeah, man, somebody sees her name, this and that. And oh yeah, man, she coming to our gym now. Boop, bam, there he is. The escape is for you to speak up. Question number 7. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He says he's Blasian. Oh, Blasian. That's black and Asian, right? He's in Los Angeles. I need to know the best way to handle a situation I ran into a few weeks back. Okay, so 2 women approached me at a club. Say girl A is into me, but I'm into girl B. What is the appropriate thing to do in a situation like that? So girl A likes him, but he likes the second girl. Okay. I'm 23 and not a player, so I seriously don't know what to do. Comparatively, they're both pretty decent looking, but girl B is really pretty to me. From their body language, however, the pretty one seemed like she was trying to set me up with her friend, but I didn't really find her friend that attractive. Ultimately, we all went our separate ways, and each found another dude, and so all is well. But I'm wondering how to approach these types of situations in the future. I basically didn't express much interest in either one of them, as I didn't want to upset girl A, and I didn't think girl B was into me, as she seemed to be more focused on setting her friend up. I also didn't want to lead her friend on and dance with someone I'm not that into. After a while, I think they got the hint and left. Okay, so what's the question? Oh, you wanted, I guess, what you're trying to figure out how you could get at girl B and not hurt girl A's feelings. That's not you didn't handle this right. Let me tell you how the real players do it. They will dance with both women. Now they're gonna dance first with the one who's into them, and then they're gonna dance with the one that they're into. While they're dancing with the one that they're into, they're gonna be like, I'm really not really tripping with her too much. I mean, it's nice you all got your friend and stuff, but I'm trying to get at you. What's up with you? And that's when you lay your mic down while you're on the dance floor and the other girl can't hear. The real players is gonna dance with them both at the same time and be like the meat in the sandwich. I've seen that a lot too. I spent way too much time in nightclubs, but that's what you do, sir. You don't run from it, and you don't like worry too much about girl A being into you when you're not really interested in her. Now, what happens a lot with young women is that sense of loyalty, because her friend most likely said, "Ooh, look at him, he's cute," and so the girl B that you were interested in said, "Oh, I'll go over there with you," right? Because she was scared to go by herself. So that's why they both came. And so, she's kind of there supporting her friends and kind of being the intermediary. And that's a role a lot of people, do. I never do that. I'm not trying to be in your mix like that. But a lot of girls do that. So, I mean, ultimately, I think you handled it well because you just took the neutral stance and got out of it. So, but in the future, that's what you do. You dance with both of them. And while you have the one that you're interested in on the dance floor, you shoot your shot. Now, it's away from the other friend. She may tell you, "Oh, no, because I just came over here because my friends." And you say, "Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. Thank you, but not interested." And you just tell her. So then when you get off the dance floor, you thank them or thank them both for the dance, and then you go on your way. See how that goes? That's why you finish up with the one that you want. And then if she's interested in you back, then you be like, "Oh, what's your number?" And you do it right in front of her friend so the friend knows what time it is. That's how you do things. Okay, let's move on. Did that sound about right, ladies? Have you ever been in a situation like that? I was in a situation like that, but the girl, she just like both-hearted and started talking to the dude. So I just let him talk. I mean, I don't know the dude, so it's not like I'm gonna be fighting over him or anything, you know. And she was all over. She was asking him questions like how much money he made and what he drove and where he lived and what was his job and all kind of stuff, just personal things. You just met the man like 5 minutes ago. But what shocked me was he was answering. I would have told us none of your goddamn business, bitch. Fuck you ask me all them goddamn questions for. See that? But luckily I'm not a guy, and so it wouldn't happen. But I was looking at her like, man, if I was him, I would have lit you up right quick, asking me some questions like that. Oh, you love it, Silver? Silver, yep. Okay, yeah, that's what I mean, I always thought that would be, the best way to handle it. I don't know. That's how I would do it if I were a dude. Question number 8, female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's African American from Bridgeport, Connecticut. The male in question is the same age group, 22 to 27, and he is white. So a little interracial union going on here. So I'm wondering if my male friend is trying to cross the line and flirt with me. I try not to really notice and dismiss it as him just being touchy and vocal as he does with most girls. But since mutual friends have teased us about each other several times, it's really getting my attention more. It got me wondering if a guy who gives compliments, he says I'm pretty or I have a nice butt, and he's touchy, like he likes to put his arm around me or on my lower back and his fingers linger for 10 seconds or so. What? That's like husband grip. What you talking about? And on one occasion, hugging me from behind and fixing my hair is actually flirting. So to me, okay, there's like flirting, and then there's like what soliciting for some bouquet. I mean, I don't want people to touch me. If you flirting with from flirting, you do with your eyes, you do it with your words, you do it with your facial expressions, you do it with your eyes, you know, winky face, whatever. You don't touch your hands on anybody. So once you start doing that, it becomes, it's more sexual than it is flirting. So it's like a sexual invitation from my perspective. So I would not have anybody who I called a friend touching me like this. We're not going to do that. Now the fact that you did it and you allowed it sends a very distinctive message to him that it's okay, that you're welcoming these advances, and that he may be able to tap it in the end because you're not telling him to stop. So that's where we are with this. He was feeling you out. It was like a little test move to see how receptive you were to what's going, what he was doing. So you need to just stop him and say, "Look, you be doing a little bit too much of your whole skillet. What you trying to say? You trying to like me or something, or you just want to get? Oh, let me shut up. You know what I'm getting ready to say, something foul. But are you just trying to like get the hookup going? What is it that you trying to do here?" And just put him on the spot and ask him directly. No need to mince words. You guys in the 22 to 27 age group, you're not babies. So you find out what he's trying to do. I see you guys over there cracking up. In case you haven't noticed, the people in the chat are crazy. I don't know these people. They just come here and stalk me every Tuesday. Too funny. Let's move on. We got 26 questions tonight. There's 9 questions. We're on question number 9. Oh, you know what? You guys who didn't come in the beginning, you missed my brand new intro that I did for What the Fuck Tuesday. I'm going to play it again since now you are here. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So what do you think about that? Wasn't that slick? I was totally bored the other day, just didn't have crap to do. And so I decided to make a new intro. I try to do that once a year. I try to, keep stuff fresh and make a new one every year. But yeah, because I know you guys. I think me and Sue was here and a couple other people, and everybody else came late. So I'm like, I'm gonna play it again because I have to make you see it. Yeah, that's what I worked on that. It took me about 2 hours, maybe longer. I don't remember. But yeah, so that's gonna be our new intro. So it debuted today. All right, so let's move on to question number 9. This is a young lady in the 20 to 34 age group. She's African American, a Pisces, and she's from York in the UK. Her partner is male, 28 to 34, and he's Asian, and he's a Leo. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Yeah, I've been saving that doll eyes picture. I use it a lot on my Instagram, but I've been saving that picture to use it in an intro for about 3 or 4 years now. Finally got the chance. Okay, so she's dating a Leo and he's Asian. I mean, I don't know about the Asian part, but a Leo man, no, and she's a Pisces. Oh girl, what, you got some kind of death wish. So she says, I've been dating my boyfriend. We're both 29 for 5 months now, and things have been great. It's our first interracial relationship. However, I noticed I'm more keen to spend time together than he is. He shared he needs a lot of alone time to sort out his problems in life in men and to unwind. And I always encourage that as I want him to recharge and be happy. Sometimes while I'm at his house, I even say things like, feel free to go work on your table. I'm just fine chilling here. However, I can't help but feel hurt and worried that I care about him more than he cares about me. We haven't said I love you yet. I still feel insecure in his feelings for me, so I'm scared to say it. I've met his family, and he just took me on a weekend away together. Oh, you met his family? That's interesting. This week, I spent Wednesday and Thursday night at his house, working all day Thursday, though, so not really time together, and left early Friday morning for work. I purposely made myself busy on Friday night with my sister so he'd have some time with his friends. I asked if he wanted to hang out on Saturday, but he said he wants to put some time into himself for chores and the gym, but we can play a video game remotely Sunday, so I won't be at his place. I acted totally fine with it and I wanted it to be, but I felt hurt that he didn't want me there at all and wants the whole weekend to himself. I live an hour away, so if I don't stay Saturday night, we won't see each other at all this weekend. Is it normal to feel hurt that he didn't want to see me at all in person this weekend? He already had Monday, Tuesday, and Friday to himself, so that means I only got to see him 2 days this week. He's about to go to Vietnam so he's Vietnamese, for a month too with his brother to see relatives. I feel worried that he doesn't value our time together as much, but I don't want to be that girlfriend that gets in the way of his recharge time. What should I do? If I'm not saying that wanting to be around your partner a lot is wrong. So don't take it that way and anybody else. I'm not saying it's wrong. What I'm saying is when you're with a Leo, you have to understand that that's not who we are. We want to be, I mean, we'll be with you sometimes, but we tend to need a lot of alone time for our solitary pursuits. Reading, our own hobbies, our own thinking, our creative writing, cooking, sometimes just eating, watching TV, whatever. We like to do a lot of stuff by ourselves. If you're the kind of person that needs a lot of, cuddle time and contact with your mate, you probably should not date a Leo. It's probably not a good thing to do because it's not that we don't care. I don't want to make it sound harsh, but we don't care. We care about you, but we don't care about all that stuff that much. I mean, it's nice, but it's like if it's not happening, that's nice too, because then we get to do other stuff. You see what I mean? So, you sound like ultimately you need a different type of man. And it doesn't sound like you guys really have a problem. It's just that his personality and yours and your emotional needs are just going to be something that's going to be overwhelming to him. And at some point, he's going to start feeling resentful that demanding all this of him and he's not making you happy. And so, as for Leo, to feel like you're not happy with us or you're not content or you're, critical of us in some way, that is death to the relationship. If we start feeling like, you got problems with who and what we are, our core self, not appreciating us for who and what we are and what we bring to your life and stuff like that, but instead you start flipping it around and criticize it and let us know that you're unhappy with us, you won't have to worry because the Leo will deuce out. Deuce the hell out. And it won't be with any animosity or anything, just be gone. So, think about that. And like I said, it doesn't have to, that may be why he's not saying that he loves you because he knows if he says that, then you want to be in his face 24/7 and expect to get married and all kind of other stuff is going to want to be happening. And he just not. So I'm telling you, that's how we are. And I know this for a fact because I'm a Leo myself, and that's exactly how I am. It's like every Leo that I've ever met is like that. Like to do a lot of stuff by ourselves. So really, if two Leos could stand each other, it would be like ideal because they would both be like having like she be in one room and he be in another room and they have a conversation hollering down the hall or texting, but they don't need to be in the same room. They don't need to be looking at each other, breathing the same air. They might go for hours without even saying a word to each other, but it's cool. I know where you are. Oh, it's fine. You could be down the hall, downstairs in the basement, over there working on your car, doing whatever you're doing. And then I'm gonna be over here upstairs on the side of the house, out in the backyard, doing what I want to do. And then when we're all done, we come together, and it's fine like that. But not everybody can handle that kind of distance in a relationship. So think about what I said, and if it's not gonna meet your needs, then politely just deuce out. Question number 10. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. She's a Capricorn. She's Caucasian from Calgary, Canada. The male in question is 22 to 27, and that's all she put. I'd absolutely love some advice on this, and I hope my letter is picked. Oh, and she put all kind of heart faces and exclamation marks and stuff. For financial reasons, I'm living with a housemate. There's so much good about the situation. It took me a long time to find suitable accommodations. I was living in a hotel for a while and a rented mobile home for a while after that, after my marriage ended. Housing is very expensive and I don't want to move out. Moving out is not the solution I'm looking for. Believe me, I've been through the mill with housing. But, dot, dot, dot. My housemate is driving me around the twist. Oh, Sue, what does that mean? Does that mean around the bend? He's driving her crazy? Is that another way to say that? I'm going to guess. He was so totally, he has too many totally annoying traits. I don't mind that I do almost all the cleaning. It's not that kind of stuff. I can tolerate that. It's his personality. He's the argumentative sort, which is the last thing I need after a long day massaging my boss's ego in a hot kitchen. I'm a chef. And his other extra annoying trait is making a huge deal out of it anytime he does anything nice or good for me or anyone else. It almost takes the good out of it that he goes on so much about how great he is for doing something. Oh, wow. Oh, you good, because I would have been cussed him out. The third thing is he never leaves the house. He just to buy food and that's it. He has no social or romantic life whatsoever. Oh my God. So every time you're home, you have to look at him all day. You might wonder what my question even is. You're right. I want to know if you or the ladies in the chat have any tricks or tips or ideas for dealing with this sort of person. I keep busy and I work really long hours, so I'm not there all that much. But he's my housemate, so I still see him more than anyone else. And it can be the tiniest annoying text from him that triggers me. Anytime I'm there, he's there. Help. So what kind of text does he send you? Things that like to complain? Is that what you're trying to say? Well, the polite thing about that is if he's sending you texts and you're working, you say, look, I can't be, texting you and I'm at work. Wait until I get home and we'll talk about it then. Don't ever text me at work unless it's an emergency. Don't call me at work unless the house is burning down or something like that. Okay, make that point very clear so he will stop doing that, interrupting your flow at the job where you're not supposed to be texting anyway. You're supposed to be working, cooking people's food. Okay? It's unsanitary to be touching your phone and then going back to touching people's food anyway. Okay, now the second thing is he's argumentative. My thing is matching energy. So when I have men that talk loud, everything they want to like giving you barbecue commands or something, I do the same thing. And inevitably it gets their attention because they say, well, you don't have that. And so I say, well, we got the phone, got that. Right back. And then they do this kind of jump thing and they look, well, why were you yelling? I said, because you were just yelling at me. So I thought that's what we was doing. Well, that's not what I meant. Well, then lower your tone of voice. You're going to yell at me, I'm going to yell right back. Or they, he want to complain about stuff. I mean, you just said he's argumentative. Oh, and this other thing too, where he wants to remind you of what he's done. Well, just get a little chalkboard and say, look, so I don't have to hear this shit. Every time you do something for somebody, put a mark down here. Every time you do the 5, do the line of like you keep scoring dominoes or something. Do a line through it, and then we can keep track of the wonderful things that you do. And I'm going to do the same. So every time I do your chores, every time I do anything that involves you that you should be doing for yourself or as your responsibility in the house, I'm going to put a mark up there too. So we're going to have 2 sides, your side and my side, and we're going to track it like that. So he can see he's not the only one doing everything. And I think you'll get a big kick out of, the passive aggressiveness of that tit for tat thing. As far as him being argumentative, there's nobody in this world that's more argumentative than me, but I limit that to certain people in certain situations. I don't want to be arguing all the time. I'm just not. But I will go toe to toe with you if I need to. So for you, when you come, you come in and he wants to argue and stuff, just say, bitch, shut up. Shut the fuck up. And I bet you he'll be shocked and he'll shut up. So I don't want to hear that shit. I just been in the kitchen all day. It's hot and shit and dealing with my crazy boss. And you want to come home and start some shit with me? I want you to go in your room and shut the fuck up. That's what I want you to do. Get out of my face. Don't say shit to me. And then if you act like that a couple of times, and he'll get the message. Thank you, Kim. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It's like all these people who don't want to speak up when people are getting on their nerves and, just taking all this kind of emotional and psychological abuse from people. Y'all need to find your voice and stand up for yourself. I can't be telling everybody what to say. You're grown. Open your mouth. There's no reason for you to be taking this kind of stuff and feeling all resentful and disturbed in your own house. Just shut him down. You want to argue with somebody, you better go do that shit in the mirror. And somebody who want to hear that shit because it ain't me. And go in your room and slam the door. So, you know what I mean? You do stuff like that. You're not putting up any boundaries or any resistance. You just let him go off at the mouth. And just so he just feels okay with it. Shay, girl, I'm telling you, you know how I do it. Oh my God, shut the fuck up. Nobody want to hear what you're talking about. I was running your goddamn mouth anyway. I'm trying to hear that shit. Man. I just can't with these kinds of people. Oh, okay. Question number 11. Female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's black, she's a Libra, and she's in Toronto. The male in question, 28 to 34 as well, also African American, well, black, and he's Aquarius, because it could be something else. Yeah, not necessarily African American. Okay. I have a boyfriend, and we've been together for 8 years. But when I initiate talk about the future, he changes the subject or doesn't want to talk about it, or he tells me to stop talking about it. Oh, and you don't know what that means? We've had our ups and downs. He tells me he loves me, but he won't or can't articulate moving forward in terms of marriage and children. Yes, he claims he wants those things. He can't even articulate he wants to be together with me. I don't know what to do after so long with him. What does he get? Like, are you like his green card sponsor or something? What the hell's going on here? Why would you, in the 20 to 34 age group, waste even another 3 months of your life when you already been with this fool for 8 years? Your window of fertility, healthy fertility is closing. And I don't know where you are in that age range, but let's say, you've been with him 8 years, you probably I'd say at least 30, right? So, you don't have a lot of time to sit around wasting with this guy while he just dragged you along. So what you have to do is understand what he's telling you. He's not talking about the future with you because there is no future. He's not talking about marriage or children because he doesn't want to marry you and have children with you. He tells you he loves you, but that's only because he knows that's what you want to hear. Because, love is action. And he's not doing anything. He's just talking, just selling wolf tickets. The moving forward marriage, nope. He's not even saying he wants to be with you because he probably doesn't. But you're convenient. I'm sure you live together. You've been together. You help pay half the bills, so he got, half his money still in his pocket. It's not expensive as living by himself. You probably cook and clean and do all these wifely things that you really shouldn't be doing because you're not married. You see what I mean? He's got a good deal here. All he has to do is pop out with a few I loves you every now and then, but he don't really have to bust a grape. And you still there. We still together. Yeah. I wouldn't do this shit for 8 months. Please. Oh, wait. There's some at the bottom here. Female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's a Latina from Sacramento, California. The male in question is 35 to 41, and he's black. Hi, ladies. I am 30 years old and have been seeing this guy. He is 38 for a few months. Casually as FWBs, as we're both just out of a relationship, and in his case, a marriage. The physical, but more importantly, the emotional connection has been amazing, she says. Anyway, he's away on vacation at the moment and was having a few drinks tonight, and then the texting started. He first told me he missed me and that he couldn't wait to see me again. Then he told me how comfortable he always feels with me. The conversation went on until he said he has to stop talking before he says too much. I was curious, so I told him as a joke that he needs to have another drink so he can tell me what he means. To which he said, I think you already know. I think I haven't been very good at hiding it. And that he thought I was an amazing woman. I then asked again what he meant. He then replied, quote, you're too smart not to know. I think you do know, end quote. And added, quote, have I already told you how much I like you, end quote. Putting the like in quotes. Oh shit, wait. Have I told you how much I quote like you? Okay, I missed that. Yeah, like sure is in quotes. Oh, is that what he said? Is this a confession of true feelings or just game? I'm not sure what to do about it. You know what you do? While he's still on vacation, you say, oh yeah, I had a really nice day tonight. I went out salsa dancing with Julio. Whether you did or not, just say that and say, but I understand you're trying to say that you're trying to act like you have some feelings and stuff, but you haven't really said anything. Because if you really look at what he said, he hasn't said shit. This is game. You know what it is? Because he's down in vacation land doing whatever the hell he wants to do. And he wants you to be all emotionally wrapped up in what he means and how it might be something happening. It might be a relationship about to jump off so that you don't go out and sleep with some other man. That's what that's all about. Trying to keep tabs. I know that trick, silly rabbit. And the fact that it worked because you wrote this letter. Because all you had to do was say, you're drunk, click. End of game. Because games only work when women listen. If you ain't listening, then he can't game you. If you hang up the phone, the game ends. If you turn off your phone and stop replying to his text, the game ends. But you didn't do that. You got caught up on, well, have another drink. So he knew he had you because you wanted to hear what he had to say. What you're supposed to do when you have an FWB is not give a fuck what they think. Say, feel, believe nothing. Because you're just there for the dick. Okay, you getting confused. You forgot your role in this whole sordid little play that you got going on here. You trying to mix apples and kumquats. Get it? Kumquats. Oh, I cracked myself up. But yeah, you doing too much. So don't I'm explaining this to you, and I'm kind of frustrated because you're kind of old for this to be not really getting it. But this is, I mean, you don't listen to what people say, especially when they drunk, especially when they're on the phone, when they claim they're drunk anyway. And especially with the parameters under which you guys have your relationship. And he's not telling you anything. This is very slick. He's letting you lead yourself down that road. So if you try to jam him up later and say, yeah, but when you were on vacation and you called me and you texting and you said that what you meant. Well, he said, yeah, but that's not what I said. That's not what I meant. And he can always dip out of it by saying that you misunderstood. That wasn't what he meant. And he'll be right because that's not what he said. So when you really look at the words that he said, he ain't said shit, right? You're too smart not to know. I think you do know. And so, but what is it you're supposed to know? I'm not Miss Cleo, nigga. Get off my goddamn phone. Stop playing on the phone. Stuff like that. That's what you should have said to his ass. I hate this kind of stuff when they be playing these kind of games. But yet I start telling them, oh, that's good, you're having fun. I don't know what you're trying to talk about because we don't have a relationship like that. And I just got back from salsa dancing with Julio. Julio Nim. Oh my God, this guy. Okay, question number 13. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group. She is a Gemini. She's black and she's from Birmingham, Alabama. Oh, the guy in question is also 18 to 21. He's a Capricorn. I've never been a very confident person. I used to be quite overweight, but I worked hard. And I'm now good at 20 years old. Finally, a healthy weight. Everyone tells me that I look great, but I sometimes have a hard time shredding my insecurities. Enter my boyfriend. Like Enter the Dragon. We've been seeing each other for about a year and a half. In the beginning of our relationship, he would compliment me all the time, and I felt great about myself. In January, he said something along the lines of, I'd be more attracted to you if you went to the gym. That comment really hurt me, and he is very upset that I was hurt, so I tried to move past it. Oh, this motherfucker right here. Today, he admitted that he finds me, quote, cute and pretty, but not hot, and that he's not as attracted to me as I am to him. I sometimes feel worse about myself now than when I was overweight, and I don't know what to do. Also, I tell him he's hot and sexy, handsome, and all of that at least once a day. He told me his confidence has only skyrocketed since we started dating. Am I overreacting and being so upset about his comments? What should I do or tell him? Is this relationship fair? Should I be worried that I'm not enough or that he wants someone more attractive? Thank you. First of all, it's not that he's jealous because you probably look really good. And so now he's trying to deflate your ego. He doesn't want you to think that you're too good because he knows that if you really look at him, you'll see that he ain't shit and you can get somebody better. So he's trying to make it seem like, you should be feeling lucky that you have him. That's his goal. He's very insecure and he's weak. And see, me knowing that when he started with this, so wait, let me go back to your letter so I don't misquote. Okay, so you're finally at a healthy weight. Okay, so where's the details? Okay, at the beginning, he used to compliment you and you felt great about yourself. That was your mistake. On this channel, I have, what's the name of that video? I have to think about it. I'll try to remember to find exact title and link to it. But basically, it talks about why you should not be too bothered about what men say in the way of compliments. You should feel the same about yourself, no matter what they say. He says you're good and gorgeous and wonderful and all that. Oh, you just a bitch. You're ugly. You're fat. You're greasy. You whatever. Snap hair. You bald. You got no edges. So both things, you don't let it affect you. The reason why women get trapped like this is because those of you who are so looking for validation from a man and compliments and stuff in order to say stuff like he gives me my self-esteem, which is stupid. But you're looking for somebody else to fill up your empty vessel of yourself. So he does that, right? So then he has you by the throat. And so anytime he wants to, anytime he's in a bad mood, anytime he thinks you too full of yourself, he's gonna pull out something, he's gonna whop you upside the head with it to make you feel bad and watch you crumble just because you've given him that power. You never give men that kind of power over you, really anyone, but especially men that are in a relationship. So no matter what, you're neutral. I mean, you can thank people and stuff like that, but you don't start preening and feeling extra good about yourself because somebody gave you a compliment, and neither do you feel bad about yourself because someone criticized you. You don't do that. When people start having all that criticism about you, that means that they don't really like you, and so you get rid of that person. You don't try to forgive them for all of that. You just move them right on out of your life. And if they're all full of flattery and stuff, especially at the beginning, you know it's a setup. Who does that and it's realistic? I wish you ladies would just really understand that. I wish you would understand that and stop giving these guys your, putting your self-esteem and confidence in the hands of other people. That's you. That's what they call it, self-esteem. Okay? So in this situation, I want you to stop telling him he's hot, sexy, and handsome and all that stuff. If he says something negative about you, you say something negative back. So I don't know what he looks like. You tell him he's hot, sexy. Well, so he says, well, you have this thing, and you would look better if you go to the gym. Well, you would look better if you went to Dick Club for Men, because I'd like to see some bigger and better action going on there. Well, you used to tell me that I'm hot and sexy. Well, yeah, I lied. I got tired of lying. You just an average Joe. You all right, but you ain't nothing to write home about. Stuff like that, you got to start chipping away his little ego. You got to start chipping away at it because otherwise he's just going to break you down. Man, you good because I would have been cracked on him. Whew, my God. When men act like this, it's like deer hunting season. And I'm the hunter with the gun and they're the deer. I'm a shoot to kill. And I'm just going in on you. Question number 14. This is a female in the 38 to 41 age group. She's white from Swindon, UK. My ex broke up with me in an email. What? As old as you guys are? About 6 weeks ago. We've been together for over 2 years. Wow. He treated me horribly in the lead up to the breakup. It was as if he hated me even though I hadn't done anything wrong. We hadn't fought or argued. That means it was another woman. After the breakup, I realized that he'd been treating me really badly for a long time. I kept blaming myself for the issues. He just acted as though it wasn't good, that I wasn't good enough for him, was rude to me in front of his friends, went on holidays with friends without me. He'd stop speaking to me or give me the cold shoulder if I did anything he didn't want me to do. He kept implying that he might have to break up with me at some point in the future. But at the same time, he wanted to spend nearly all his time with me to the point where it was difficult for me to plan things with anyone else. We saw his family and friends all the time, but never mine. He told me that he didn't have doubts about us when we were together, but when we were apart, he thought we might not work out. His breakup email was all about him. Now he sent me another email also all about him and how difficult and complicated it's been for him and how if I ever need anything, I should contact him because he still cares for me a lot and will always care about me. He apologized for dumping me in an email because I deserve better. I'm angry and I want to tell him about how self-absorbed he is, but I don't know if this will make me just feel worse. Is it always best to ignore this kind of email from an ex? What you're supposed to do is when somebody breaks up with you, you are supposed to block them. So they can't call you, they can't text you, they can't send you any more emails. You block them on social media, they can't IM you or DM or whatever it is. They can't make any comments to your post, they can't even see your page. But you didn't do that. Y'all don't be handling this right. It's like you want the people to still be involved in your life because you leave every door open for them to continue to harass you. I would suggest that you delete that email from him and just act like you never got it. No response, no acknowledgement, no nothing. Why did you even read it? That's the part that's bothering me. I don't get it. I don't really understand why you did that. And you say he's been treating you badly for a really long time. Why did you stay and take that? Don't you understand if you have a guy who is treating you well and all of a sudden he starts treating you badly, he wants you to have some self-respect, acknowledge that you deserve better than to be treated like that and break up with him. That's what he's trying to get you to do. But you never did it. So he finally had to do it, but he didn't want to do it to your face, so he sent you an email. But that's what he was trying to get you to do, to be woman enough, to stand up and say, I don't deserve this, and to break up with him. But you just never did. You just kept taking it. And he could see that was going to be endless because you have zero self-esteem. And so he finally had to do it himself, even though that wasn't what he wanted to do. They be calling blocked. Well, they can call if they blocked, but they can't get you, though. I mean, they can call, but then they call. Well, I don't know. In my service, the call doesn't go through. I don't know what happens on their end. That's a good question. But I never get any notation. They can't leave a voicemail. The phone won't even ring. And I found that out from one friend. I accidentally blocked her number, but I've never heard it myself. But she said it was, it rang. I think she said it rang one time and something, and she figured out that that's what was going on because she could never get me. It always did the exact same thing. So I had to go on her contact and unblock it because I hadn't done that on purpose. I don't know. I wouldn't be calling nobody if I got blacked. And the Verizon though was the coldest, and this was like in the early 2000s. They used to have this message that was on there. Was it there? Maybe it was Nextel. Yeah, before Sprint bought Nextel. Maybe that's what it was. Not Verizon, because I had Nextel. But anyway, they had this thing where you try calling. The party you were trying to reach was not accepting calls from this number. And they just straight told you that your ass was on ice and that you was not getting called. And I just loved it. The good old days. Question number 15, female 22 to 27 at Pisces. She's white from North York in Canada. How do I get over my concerns of not fitting in? I'm 23, and at this point, I don't even know why it's something that bothers me. But I think it's because I have an intense fear of being judged, critiqued, or disliked by people. I have been told that sometimes, especially when meeting new people or even hanging out with people I already know in a new setting, I can get intense or overwhelming. I really try hard not to. But I think my worry of being annoying or not fitting in contributes to me being intense, even though that is exactly opposite of what I want to come across as. Do you have a good way to help me manage this? I also have a tendency to apologize a lot. Any good advice? Yes, see a therapist. Work on your self-esteem because that's what this is all about. You are so fearful of being judged or critiqued. I'm just like, how do you even have a job with that? Because, bosses always having some complaints about me, my ass, man. They used to constantly be calling me in. Yeah, that Nextel chirp was the shit. That was like the bombzilla. Um, I don't know. I just, because my bosses, I mean, seriously, at least once a week, I'll be getting called in about something I did, and I would listen to them. I didn't give a shit, but I would sit there and I'd listen. I'd be like, well, can you just make sure you don't do that again? Go right out and do it again and be right back in there the next week. But, or maybe do something else, some derivative, not that exact thing, but something that was in that same vein, but not that exact thing. And they were like, well, didn't we have this conversation? No, we talked about blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, okay, but okay, this too, this is kind of similar, but blah. So then they explain it again. But you just do it enough so that you keep from getting a write up. But I would still do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. And so after some bosses, once after a while, they just realize that it's like, look, she gets all the work done. She don't have no problems. All her shit's accurate. It's on time or early. I'm cool. She got some beef with the other staff. Let her handle it, and they put them in their place because they probably was messing with her and saying some shit they didn't need to be saying anyway. So the bosses that I had that understood what time it was, we got along great. Girl, Romania, I'm just that I was like that as a kid too. I'm gonna find whatever the line is, the radar, and I'm gonna slide right under it. I mean, like barely. But I'm gonna stay under the radar, or maybe I might jump over it. But I'm not gonna be like not going up to the line. I'm definitely going to do that. My toes going to be on it. Well, people go and complain. They complain because you got to realize a lot of people aren't used to people being direct with them. They're used to passive aggressiveness, or they're used to getting their way and bullying people in the workplace. That's just like in high school. People, people bring those attitudes with them into adulthood and into the workplace, and then they meet me, and I don't look like I'm very threatening. I'm just, I'm a happy person. I laugh and joke with people, and that's just who I am. But don't cross me, because then you're gonna see the other side of me, and they would always be surprised and shocked when I went off on them, lost my mind real quick, and checked them and told them about themselves, and then they go run into my boss. Oh my God, she said this to me. Oh, and I hate to say it, but the paler ones, they always want to turn on the waterworks, start crying like somebody gives a shit about their tears. That just would piss me off more. That just make me be meaner to him. You don't hold. Be a G. Okay, just take the tongue lashing you getting like a G. Don't turn on no tears and think that's going to get you some sympathy. Now, for me, that's enough. Don't do that, because now I'm gonna be gunning for you. Now I'll be on your case about everything. I'm not gonna let nothing slide. I'm gonna have you in tears daily. When you show me that that's how you solve a problem, oh, get ready. You better get you some stocking Kleenex, because I'm gonna wear your ass out. Everything you do, I'm gonna talk shit to you. Everything. I just can't stand that. Ooh, that drives me crazy. Anyway, let's move on from her. She's got to get some therapy for that. Question number 16. This is a young lady in the 18 to 21 age group from Denver, Colorado. The young man in question is 22 to 27. My boyfriend just moved across the whole country to live with me, and instead of being happy, all I can do is resent him for snoring and fucking up my sleep. My boyfriend and I have been in a long distance relationship for the past 2 years, and it's been the best time of my life. I love him so much and generally don't know what to do without him. And just a few days ago, we finally took the step and moved in together. He moved across the country to move in with me. Before I started dating him, I made it a personal rule. Oh my God, this letter's long as hell. To never date anyone who snored. It's the one and only thing that disrupts my sleep, and I knew I couldn't stand hearing that for the rest of my life. Okay, so then we go. He talks about his earplugs and how that don't work. He hurt his ears. Snoring doesn't bother him. Okay, I just summed up 3 paragraphs. I'm losing my mind. I've gotten so little sleep in the past few days, and I'm sitting in the living room, half awake right now on my laptop with a pounding headache from trying to sleep next to him for several hours. I can still hear him snoring in the bedroom. I'm so tired of getting more irritable and snapping at him over small things. He doesn't deserve to be yelled at. I've gone basically nonverbal over the past 2 days. Oh my, because this is hilarious. So exhausted and irritable from not sleeping, and I'm worried because my customer service job starts again today. I know I won't have the energy for it. Oh my God, you're gonna be tired and irritable at a customer service job. You're likely to get fired if you cuss out somebody. He feels guilty about it, but and he doesn't want to wear a CPAP machine. Okay, this is fine. At this point, falling asleep before him won't even work because his snoring will just wake me up after anyway. This doesn't feel like something I should break up with him for at all. I still love the man. We're finally living together after all this time. I should feel way more happy, but I'm so tired. I can't help but think about how much longer I'll be able to deal with this. Is this the rest of my life? They say snoring only gets worse as you get older. I don't know what to do. Making him feel guilty about it won't do anything, but put more strain on our relationship, which is otherwise perfect. I'm really going to lose it if I don't get some long, uninterrupted sleep soon, though. Yes. Not only that, I mean, if you have to drive or anything like that, operate any kind of, you know, equipment in the course of your job, that could be dangerous for you and other people as well. You fall asleep behind the wheel and stuff like that. Um, But that's good, though. You do have a car. I mean, what you could do, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know how tall you are or anything like that, but you might have to just bring your blanket and pillow out to your car and sleep in your car on the back seat because dude is snoring too loud. Or make him go sleep in the car. You guys could alternate. So one night you in the bed, and the next night he's in the bed. I don't know what to tell you, dude. I know I'm trying to be funny, and you're probably not laughing. But, you have to have some sleep. You've got to get sleep. Do you want to move? Could you get a bigger place? Could you afford to pay for soundproofing of the wall so that, if you have two rooms, then he can be in, to sleep in the other room when he goes to sleep, and so he can snore in there. And with good soundproofing, you won't hear it, and you can get your good rest that you need. So think about investigate some options. Um, but that would be what I think. If you have the money to get a bigger place and then pay for soundproofing, that would probably help you solve the problem. So if you want to stay with this person, you're gonna have to do something. It's not gonna help you when you guys go on vacation and stuff like that, though. But at least it'll help you at home when you have to get up and go to work. Wow. Yeah, I can't deal with people who snore. I can't date them. I cannot, because I'm very auditory, and I can hear. My daughter used to say I had dog hearing. I could hear stuff that was upstairs and down the hall. So I'd be, what was that noise? Nothing. Yes, it was something. What was that sound? I heard that. God, you just hear everything. She would complain. But it's true. All right, let's move on. I'm so sore. My kettlebell routines, I've been kicking my butt. Because I was trying to be cute for my birthday. I made it, but ooh, I'm in pain. I'm sore as heck. Question number 17. This is a female in the 28 to 32 age group. She's black from Norfolk, Virginia. The male is 35 to 41, so 20 is okay. 35. Okay, so he's a little older. Okay. I was in what I now realize was a situationship with a 38-year-old man. I'm 30. We, quote, dated for almost 8 months, did everything couples do, but after asking 3 times over the course of the relationship, he never made things official and called me his girlfriend. I never met his friends, never put in any effort, never complimented me, disrespected our relationship by telling me inappropriate stories about his exes, and he never took care of me. Heck, he barely took care of himself, even though he's an attorney. He doesn't have any credit cards, no retirement account, he has lax ambition and never cleaned his house, etc. Okay, and you spent 8 months with Pigpen? What you do that for? We ended things in April after I realized I wanted more, and he realized he couldn't give it to me. He even said that he didn't feel himself developing much feelings of love. We both said we'd be open to being friends. But 2 weeks later, I texted him, and he responded. Every 1 or 2 weeks after I would text him, he would respond. But they would be very basic, simple, non-conversational texts. That all changed mid-June. Okay, you were just way too wrapped up in somebody that was stupid and you broke up with. I texted him and he was conversational and there was more back and forth. The next day, I asked if he felt ready to meet up in person for a drink just to catch up. We met up at a bar and we hung out for hours. We never talked about the relationship, but we just talked and had fun. We met up again a few weeks later in July and the same thing happened. But ever since, he's been texting me every other day, if not daily, and he's the initiator, okay? So he admitted during the relationship and confirmed after that he keeps tabs on his exes. He doesn't talk to any of them except me and the other girl that he was friends with previously but dated for 2 months, and she got married and moved to another state. There's one more that he only texts on her birthday, that he looks them up on Facebook even though they're not friends and uses a secret Instagram account to check up on them. I'm just confused what his daily texts mean. They're not flirty texts and they're all pretty innocuous. Is it just breadcrumbing, keeping tabs? Is he bored? Keeping you around as a backup? Nope, he's not doing anything of that. He's just playing with you and just because he's bored and he knows that you're silly enough to want to participate in this nonsense. Girlfriend, you are too old for this. The man was a dusty, okay? He was a just stupid dusty with no ambition, no credit, no nothing, and just nasty. And you knew that. And he didn't want to commit to you anyway, which I don't even understand why you was pushing for a commitment from a man like that. But let's leave that to the side. And and then you want to keep interacting with him. The energy that you're spending on this man from the past, this useless piece of shit, you should be investing that in other people, new people, or yourself. That's what you should be doing. All these hours you spend in that bar jaw-jacking with some idiot who has no credit, is not and just has no ambition, and who just has no savings and is just nothing. You know how many hours you wasted of your life on this man? If you think about that and what your hourly rate is and how many hours you wasted on this, just think of that big fat check that you have. I don't understand what you're doing or why you're doing it. So it's really hard for me to give you any advice about this. All I can tell you is as a whole, you're wasting your time. He's stupid. Let stupid men go over there to where they belong, which is in Stupidville, USA, and just leave them alone. Leave him alone. Stop texting him. Block him and move on with your life. Come on now. This is just crazy to me. And all these dates, and then in July, and then in June. Now it's every day. What does it mean? About somebody who's trash. You should be insulted that he wants to text you every day. You should block his number. Oh my God. Question number 18. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's white and she's from Spokane, Washington. The male, 22 to 27 as well. And I guess he's the same. I don't know. She didn't put. In this game my boyfriend has been playing, you can customize all the characters. He changed almost all of the girls' characters to black girls. Oh. He got jungle fever. He got jungle fever. This is interesting. And she is quite bothered by that. When he did it at first, I asked about why, and he said it felt racist that there weren't any. All of the characters are Asian because it's a Japanese game. There aren't any characters of any other race unless you create them. Today I noticed that literally almost all of the characters he used were black girls. I didn't say anything. If I am looking too into this, when we were first together, I noticed that he had a preference, although I really shouldn't be saying fetish, for black girls. Why is it a fetish? And his ex is black. This is why I'm a little put off and weirded out by him by doing this. I really do not know if I am being weirdly insecure or just overreacting. I just need other thoughts on this before I say anything to him. What you gonna say? He had a black girlfriend. You try to put that interest down by saying that it's a fetish because you feel insecure about the fact that he likes girls that don't look like you. I'm going to check your little ass on that. That is just unnecessary for you to think. Because, see, in your mind, by making the black girl be a fetish, then it lets you still feel that you're better. That's what you think you get away with. You know I'm not gonna let you get away with that shit. I don't know why you even put that in the letter. You know I'm too sharp for that. You on some bullshit right now. What you have to do is accept that even though you're a white girl and he's with you, you're not his preference. Okay, I don't know, but you got a big booty or something. There's something about you that he likes, but what he's really attracted to are black women. It's black women. So just get over it. Either you're gonna accept him the way he is and figure, just deal with it, or you're gonna let him go and go so you can go find him the black girl to be with for round two. Because that seems to be that's what turns him on. That's what he likes. I don't know what to tell you. But it's not, yeah, I mean, yeah, she's being very jealous and insecure, but using that term, well, I should just say fetish. When people have a fetish, it's different than someone, if you appreciate, you can't see it as maybe the man just appreciates black women as a beautiful whole. Because it's for you to feel, that's the problem I ran into, and this I'm just going to be honest. As white women are portrayed in the United States as being the pinnacle of beauty, especially the ones that are real skinny, flat stomach, y'all are just focused on stomach. The rest of you be all kinds of fucked up. But as long as you have a flat stomach, you just think you got it going on. So, the standards of beauty amongst white women and those amongst black women or Latina or whatever, they're very different. So when you see a white guy that looks like black women, that means he appreciates what black women have to offer. Okay? There's a lot of men who do actually, but they're too scared to do anything about it. They're scared. They're scared of what black men are going to say. They're scared that the woman's not going to accept them and they're going to get rejected or cussed out or something. So a lot of them are more interested in dating black women or Latina women or whatever, but they don't do it because of their fear. One of which is, they don't want the white women in their family talking shit to them. So I'm really having a problem with how you're approaching this, but what you need to do is put your big girl panties on and say, look, I noticed that, you seem to be very interested and attracted to black women, and I just want to know what you're doing with me then. And just ask him bluntly just like that so he can tell you. Okay? Don't run from it. Find out so you're not wasting your time. All right? Because that's not fair to you, even though I just reamed you. It really isn't fair to you if that's what his interest in, that's where he should be. Okay? He should not be wasting your time, so don't let him. Question number 19. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. She's black from Jersey City, New Jersey. Okay, this is the problem in a nutshell. I'm 23 and my boyfriend, who is 21, has been locked up and in the county jail since May. He is scheduled to be released in 10 days. My issue is that I'm not sure I can forgive him for the past if I can believe what he says at all. Okay, so my t-shirt, it says, wait, let me put this down so I can pull it up. It says, I may be wrong, but it's highly unlikely. That is my motto for this show. Okay, let's go back to this poor child who is so confused about her jailbird boyfriend. He is okay. I'm not going to get too deep into his charges or anything, because that's not the point here. I have two main concerns. The first one being his very increased interest in a future with me since he got incarcerated. We have been together for almost 3 years, and he hasn't said anything like that before. I gotta be honest, Dad. We were both really young at the beginning, and it was the peak of COVID. Things were a bit rocky, but the last 6 months or so before he got locked up were great. It was pretty obvious we were in for the long haul. We live together, do everything together, and we love each other very much. I do not judge him for his charges, and I am willing to help him work through everything. But he would rarely make comments about getting married and having kids with me in the future. But ever since he's been in jail, he's been very open that he wants to marry me, have a family with me, etc. He now makes comments often about our future kids, what kind of engagement ring I would want, etc., etc. My thing is, he wasn't nearly this open before, so why now? I'm not sure if it's just my anxiety, but a part of me just feels like he's lonely and doesn't have any other options right now and has no choice but to imagine a future with me, the only person other than his family that has contact with him. Or is it that he feels after being in jail and me sticking it out with him that I'm the only one that would accept him and consider a relationship with him, so he's taking what he can get? I'm not sure if this makes sense, but a part of me thinks, well, why did it take you going to jail for you to realize that you want to spend the rest of your life with me? My second concern has to do with me wondering if I'll be able to fully forgive him for the things he has done to be truly happy. I'm happy with him most of the time, but sad and resentful towards him a lot of time about the past. I would be grateful if you would have any advice. I just feel confused about what is true and what is best for me in this situation. What is best for you, since you already live with him, he's gonna be released to his house with you, is to look and see what he does when he gets out. Now, the fact that you didn't want to say what he's in there for, the kind of that really limits what my answer can be, because a lot of times, when they do some stuff, some crook shit, it shows the kind of character that the person has. But you don't want to let somebody know that part. That would have been very important for me to know what his charges were. But you dance all around that. And I'll tell you another thing. A lot of these people, usually they're in prison though for like more than, a year and a half, going on up. Once they're gonna be locked away for a long time, of course they be like in love. And we're talking about marriage and baby, 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 please, baby, baby, please, because they want you to put money on their books and send them stuff. It's not convenient to be in jail if you don't have any context on the outside, somebody caring about you. It just doesn't work. Okay, you suffer even more. So it's convenient for him to have you on the hook like that, thinking it's going to be something magical happening when he gets out. So what I would say is just, he's going to be released to that address because that's his address, unless they send him to a halfway house or something for some drug-related charges. But, just see what he does. What kind of work is he going to do? What kind of plans he's making? Is he really putting some action behind those words, or is he just talking smack till he got out of jail? You'll know soon enough, and then you can make your response accordingly. It's not going to take him long to show his ass if he's, trying to play games with you. It'll show real quick. Well, he might do all of that, but we're not going to worry about might. We're going to talk about what is, and what is. All we're talking about is he's getting out in 10 days. He's talked about this marriage stuff. They live together. They've been together 3 years. Those are truths. What might, we're not going to do that. We don't work in mights on this show. We go with what he is. Okay? Because you could just might yourself into a whole different galaxy with the conjecture and stuff that y'all be coming up with. So we'll see. But that's why I think that too, Sue. But, she's been with the dude for 3 years and he's about to get out. So she doesn't sound like she's really in a position to make any sudden and drastic moves, and not like she really wants to. She's on the fence. So reading between the lines and seeing that's why I'm advocating that she do this slowly. And so that if she does leave him, she'll feel good about knowing it was the right decision. Me just saying, just leave him because that's not going to work for her. I can tell by the way she wrote the letter. She's the kind that wants solid proof. She needs evidence. And so by taking her time and watching what he does when he gets out, she'll get that evidence. And then she can make her move, and I think she'll be okay with whatever she decides to do. She'll feel like it was the right thing to do. And I think that's important for her. Just looking at how she wrote it. Okay, and let's move on to question number 20. We have 26 questions. My throat's getting dry again. Okay, this is a female and male, 22 to 27 age group, both white, from Sheffield in the UK, and it's writing about another female in the 57 to 65 age group. Okay, so that's probably somebody's mama. 57 to 65, and they're 22 to 27 age group. Okay, let's see. We have been married for 5 years and have been together since high school. We started dating at 17, so we'll be together 10 years this year. We're both 27. My mother-in-law is the problem. She constantly compares herself to me in a quote, jokey way, whilst talking to my husband. You love me so much, don't you? You love your mommy. Your mommy loves you, etc. And he's 27 years old. I am frequently belittled when she says offhanded comments about how I don't really understand or know my husband, unlike her, or you'll learn how to deal with him someday. That's not what my son is like. I know my son, etc. Since I've been with him since we were 17, I'd like to think we know each other by now. But the thing that upsets me the most is how she's extremely touchy-feely with my husband. She has her hands all over him constantly when we visit. Oh, does she now? We live about a 4-hour drive away, so we don't get to visit as often as we would like. When we do get to their home, she is touching him all over, trying to hold hands, massaging him. her hand on his thigh, stroking him, etc. Although he won't reciprocate the touching, he doesn't stop her. She won't ever allow me to sit beside him either. She always has to sit beside him when we eat or socialize. She makes it very obvious in the past when I've sat next to him that she wants to be sitting beside him or touching him. Oh, you're so far away. Come sit here beside mommy. Oh, I just want to squeeze and squeeze you. Oh, she sounds weird. I haven't spoken to him about this because I know it's nothing but jealousy coming from me, and I hate it about myself. I was very petty, and it's not real chill to be annoyed over these things. The fuck is not. But this is how this behavior makes me feel. How should I approach it? Am I being jealous? Should I just deal with it because it just only happens every few months? Or should I speak to my husband or his mom about it? You better than me, because when she said, say, I know mommy, I know his son best, it's like, yeah, but you've never fucked him, or have you? Because the way you be acting is like a jealous lover and husband. You act like a molested child. And that's what I would just tell both of them right there. You allow your mother to put her hands all over you like she's fucking you. Like this is some kind of romantic relationship the two of you have. This is some bullshit. What the hell is going on here? And I would just say it in front of both of them. I'm like, I dated this dude, right? He had this aunt, and she was, young. I mean, not that much older than him. But once he started dating me, she was so weird. And like we was over at his mother's house, and the auntie came, right? And he was sitting on this, like in the kitchen, and I was sitting next to him, but it was a little distance, between. And she came and just sat in his lap. Now, dude, at this point, how old were we? I don't know, maybe 18, something like that. And she just came and just sat on his lap and was just like arms all around his neck and just doing the most. And I sat and I looked at her. Now, you know me. I said, why are you doing that? And she's like, doing what? I said, like pawing all over him like trying to mark your territory or something. You too old for that. Because she was like in her 30s. And I said, so she looked at me, everybody started laughing, right? And then she looked embarrassed. Because like, you're way too old to be trying to compete with a teenager. You too old for that. And I, kept pointing that out, that she was old. I mean, in her 30s is not really old, but I mean, to somebody who's 17, 18, you're old. And so she looked really embarrassed, and then she got up. But his sister told me later that she used to try to do that. She was like, I always want all this attention from him and stuff. And I'm like, that I don't know what kind of unsavory shit that's all about. But so that's how I am. I'm just going to speak up. And the mother in a situation like this, doing all this stuff, it's like she's in competition with you. Why aren't you saying anything? Because I would have definitely had to check her. It's like, I know something. You don't know how he fucks. I bet you don't know that. I do. Ha ha. Yeah, it's very cringy. But I would definitely want to know from my husband how he's not uncomfortable with that. That's not normal behavior, and it gives me vibes of childhood sexual abuse, to the point where, and a lot of mothers are inappropriate with their sons, so don't think that this is so far-fetched. This happens a lot more than people really think. And so he's used to it. You see what I mean? He's desensitized to her possessiveness and covetousness and taking liberties with his body. So everything about that spells that kind of abuse situation in his childhood to me. That's what I'm getting from this. He's not bothered because he's so used to it. Now, I don't know, no man was like that. They would pulling their mother off. Well, Mom, that's enough. Stop it. Don't be touching me like that. That's for my wife to do, or something. Something like that. They would arrest it, and most mothers would have a different kind of boundary by touching their son's body like he's their man. That's all. Rubbing the thigh and all that kind of holding hands and stuff. That's what you do with somebody that's your lover. And you don't do that with your adult son. So I'm not sure what she's got going on, but it's. I would have to say something. She might know that if there's some, but then I don't think she would have wrote the letter. Then she would have said, I know that she would have said that in there. So how do I stop it now, or something like that? They've been together since they were 17. So something tells me Mom was getting her freak on with her own son. That's what it sounds like to me. I could be wrong, but That's why I wore this shirt. Okay. Let's move on. Question number 21. Female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's from Bristol, England. Male, 28 to 34. We've been together for over a year. He spends every night at my house. Last month he was skint. Okay, I don't know what that means. So I got food, etc. He gets 1,800 pounds a month after taxes, which is a decent wage in our area. Obviously, I pay all gas and electric. Somebody knows what skint means? Skint. I don't know what that means. Some kind of UK talk. Where are my UK people? No, Oedipus complex is where the son loves the mother. She said he doesn't reciprocate, so it's not the Oedipus complex. You got it reversed. Skint means broke? Oh, okay. So dude is skint. Okay, so he was broke. Why can't she just say that? She knows I'm in the U.S. My God. Anyway, so she pays all the gas and electricity, so this month has left me short and 2 weeks till payday. He said last week on his payday he would give me some money, end quote. We have decided to go away for a weekend in September for 100 pounds each. Today is his payday, and he transferred the 100 pounds hotel, but nothing from me. I was relying on something that he knows. What should I do? I would take that 100 pounds in that hotel and spend it, and then tell him he still owes his 100 pounds for the hotel and that I'm not paying anything for the hotel, and he's paying all of it because of the money that he owes me. You see where I'm going with this? That's how I would be doing. I wouldn't be paying shit. Yeah, I'd be, well, that was my $100. Wait, what is it? That's not pounds. My 100 pounds. So you still owe the hotel. That's how that would go. Question number 22. Female, 22 to 27. She's Asian from Fremont, California. And she's writing about a female who's 22 to 27 age group who is white. Okay, so probably friend. All right. My friend is really into going out and planning all sorts of social events. She is much more extroverted than me and has a lot more social energy. The issue I'm writing about is her upcoming birthday party. I accepted the invitation before, but now that it's closer to happening, I'm feeling a lot of anxiety about going. The main reason why I don't want to go is because I don't really have the money to spend right now, and I know we are going to go out for dinner, get drinks, fee for dancing at the club, and the drive is really far, about an hour, and driving there and back kills half my gas tank. I'm not working right now either because I'm taking time off to build my portfolio, so I need to be really careful with the money I've saved, and I'm already spending more than I would have liked and budgeted for. How do I tell her I don't want to go now? It's really hard for me to be straight up about these things, and I'm worried that she will take it personally because I'm canceling at the last minute. Or should I just suck it up and go? I don't want to be a bad friend, please. Would you rather be a bad friend or a broke friend? Which one would you prefer? Personally, I'd rather be a bad friend and have some money in my bank account and to eat. I like food. I like the lights on too. So, you don't have no money. So all you have to do is tell her, I'm not working right now. And after I did my budget on the first, I realized that I can't really afford an evening out with, meals and drinks and stuff. I can't do it. So I'm going to have to bow out, but happy birthday, or whatever it is. Yeah, it's her birthday. But really happy birthday. I love you, girl. I hope you guys have a lot of fun. Send me some pictures. I'll be at home all alone, so just send me some pictures so I can pretend like I'm there. Something like that, just play it up like that. But if she really wants you to go and she knows you're not working and don't have any money, then she'll come out of pocket and pay for you to go. But if she don't offer, then shit, stay your ass at home and don't worry about it. I would not worry about it at all. Question 23 of 26. This is a male in the 35 to 41 age group. He's African American. He's from New York, and he's an Aquarius. Ever since I've known my wife, her mother has been financially irresponsible. From bounce checks to repossessed vehicles, her financial adventures have been painful to watch. Finally, about 10 years ago, my wife convinced her to let her take over her finances. Mother-in-law agreed with a lot of pushback and managed to get out of some of the debt that has plagued her for years. She lives in a 4-bedroom house in Long Island. Now, with no research, or dare I say common sense, my mother-in-law and her husband have decided to move to Grenada to live out their retirement. Thanks to the money, she's was able to save with my wife's help. She also bought herself a house in cash and is in the middle of selling her house on Long Island. The problem is that she's relying on my wife for everything. Suddenly, my mother-in-law isn't capable of doing anything that adults normally do. This includes making and keeping doctor's appointments, paying her mortgage, credit card bills, all of which had not been forthcoming, and telling my wife rather, how much credit card debt she had. As for my mother-in-law's husband, he has been in Grenada for over a month now to manage their furniture and car that they had shipped over. He's often on the phone with my wife, requesting her to wire various amounts of money to cover shipping of their things, a water filtration system, and other things needed for the new house. Well, all of the money my mother-in-law and her husband saved is now gone. The only cash they will have is the money they get from the sale of their house, minus whatever is left over on the mortgage. Wow, this sounds bad. Meantime, my wife wants to loan them money from our joint savings account. I asked a silly question: what if we need our money for our home, cars, or whatever? The next suggestion I made was equally silly when I told my wife to use the money in her personal savings account. Since it's her mother, she wants to help. My wife says that we will get all our money back once her mother's house is sold. I told my wife that we don't expect to hear nothing but "I told you so" from me. It is too much to expect my wife to help her mother from her own savings account. Nope. Especially considering that her mother has made and continues to make poor financial choices. Oh, and by the way, her mother has decided to continue to work. She's the director of a nursing home in one of the boroughs until the sale of her house. On top of all that, she lives with us since her house is empty. Oh my God, this is trauma. You so good. Stand strong on that. I'm assuming since it's a joint account, it needs both of your signatures to make a withdrawal. Don't do it. Don't do it, because then you're going to be putting some of your savings in your cushion. I mean, even though you guys are married, but still, there's one account that that provides for your cushion too. It's a joint account, but she has her own. So it's her mama. She want to give her mother her money, she can do that. But tell her she's not getting a dime from you. Your money is staying where it is. And if she wants to help her, she can take out a loan. She can use her. She can do whatever she want to do, but not a dime of it will come from you. And that, since she's so sure she's gonna get her money back, then she can get it. But I think what's happening, she wants you to be involved so she can say to her mother, "No, we have to get whatever. Just say your name is Roy. No, Roy wants his money back, Mama. You got to give him his money back." And so she feels like that would be the way to get. I think that's what's going on. Why she's so excited about using the money from you. But all she has to do is lie and say that that's where she got it from. The mother's not gonna know where she got it from. All she's gonna know is she got some money. So your wife don't have no game. She can say that she got a loan, make the mother sign a promissory note because she has to pay it back from her bank. I mean, she has all kinds of tricks that she could use. And file the promissory note so that when the house sells, she gets her money out the escrow off the top. That's what I would do. So I don't know what you're gonna do, but there's other ways to handle this. But definitely don't give in. Question number 24, female, 28 to 34 age group. She says she's Middle Eastern, from Calgary, Canada. And the guy in question, same age group, 20 to 34, and he's white. My boyfriend has a bad habit of constantly bringing up things from years ago that he never mentioned that I didn't even realize were issues. We get on well and we never argue, but he started bringing up old stuff he never said anything about. Some recent examples: we went bowling about 3 years ago. I brought it up and said it was fun and we should go again. He said, "Well, yeah, I'll shut up this time, though." Me? Huh? What do you mean? Bowling was great. And he says, "Well, I got the impression that you were annoyed with me." I told him I do not remember being annoyed. I thought we had fun. I'm not a moody person at all. I'm really positive and always full of energy. And I said, I was just thinking about getting some bar shifts. He said, quote, "Just make sure no men hug you like last time," end quote. I asked what he meant. He said years ago we visited a pub and one of my friends hugged me and he didn't like it. I don't even remember who he's talking about. And he said nothing at the time. That's because the shit didn't even happen. He's gaslighting you. He does this about once a week about stuff that happened ages ago and was never mentioned at the time as a problem. But the other day we were watching a movie where a character broke up with another, and he said out of the blue, "You wouldn't care if I broke up with you." I asked what he meant, and he said, "I just know you wouldn't." But then he asked me for a bedroom favor afterwards, which I said no to. Which I've said no to before. Oh, I see. I asked why he does this, and he says, I just get the impression. He also does it when he's telling me a story. If I'm not incredibly hyped about it, long day at work, etc., he'll say, oh, I'm boring you. You obviously don't care. But I'm just listening normally like I do with other people. Sometimes I tell him stories, and he just goes, right, then change the subject. So I know he's not listening, but I don't take it personally. This is an emotionally abusive relationship, young lady. Why? I don't understand how you're not taking this personally. I don't understand this. I try and do a lot for him. I even saved up to buy him a really nice weekend away, and during it, he kept bringing up past stuff that I was unaware of. I'm like trying to remind me that even though I did this nice thing for him, there's still stuff in the past that he isn't content with, which he never brought up. How would you handle this, Deb? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me go back and look at this. Okay, he brings up shit from the past. If it's more than, for me, if it's more than 30 days ago, the statute of limitations has run. Okay. And if he started bringing up the stuff, I said the statute of limitations is run. You can't. That's off the charts. Nah. I don't want to hear it. Shut up. Just don't bring it up. If you didn't bring it up in 30 days, it didn't happen as far as I'm concerned. And then I would walk out of the room. And every time he tried that shit, that's what I would do. Oh, statute of limitations. You let it run. There's no crime, no foul. And all these things you get the impression that I was annoyed. Well, chances are I probably was. But it wasn't because of bowling, it was because of the way that you act like that and act the way you acting now like a little bitch. Whining about some shit that happened 3 years ago. I don't want to hear that shit. Remember the statute of limitations has run. Shut up. That's how I would be talking to him. And you get some bar shifts and don't let men hug you. I'm gonna make sure everybody in the bar hugs me. Men, women, dogs, cats, everything. Every critter in there, I'm gonna get a hug from. You know why? Because I know it's gonna get on your nerves. That's why I'm gonna do it. And every time I do get some bar shifts, I'm gonna do the same thing again. Because again, the statute of limitations is run and you're gonna bring up some ancient shit. So I'm gonna give you some more new shit to talk about, since you like to talk about shit so good. I would give him something to talk about. But yeah, remember yesterday? Go, yeah, now we can talk. Yesterday is good. 3 years ago, no, we're not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, he's just trying to keep you off guard and feel that you're wrong and bad, and you do things and you don't even remember what you did and stuff like that. I mean, really, I would play those little games I'm telling you. But really, by the time he did that the third time or so, I would be through it. I would be done with him. I don't like men who want to try to make me feel bad about stuff that didn't even happen. He's making up shit in his mind. And since it happened years ago and you can't remember it, well, then you saying it never happened and he's lying is just as valid as him saying that it didn't. He can't prove that it did and you can't prove that it didn't, but your stance is going to be just as much, have as much accuracy and power as what he's talking about. You see what I'm saying? Neither one of you will be able to prove it, but there's no reason for you to accept his version of the truth. Question number 25. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Cardiff, Wales. The male in question is 35 to 41. I have been casually dating a guy for around 2.5 months. So far, I've had no reason to complain. He's been nothing but lovely. But last night, I added a little affectionate word after the good night text. Nothing heavy, just a Welsh word for my darling. He replied with a quote, "Good night, boobs." Wow. I was totally put off him as I feel that was, wait, I have told, it has, okay, she's meant to say it. It has totally put me off him as I feel that's all I must be to him. Am I overreacting? Nope. That was the utmost in disrespect. I'm surprised you didn't use some of them Welsh words to cuss him out. What's motherfucker in Welsh? I need to figure that out. You fucking piece of shit. What is that in Welsh? Girl, that's what you need to be calling him in your native tongue. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. And you only been dealing with him for 2.5 months. It would not be another day. Nope. You're not overreacting. You're underreacting from my perspective. I mean, how could you let somebody talk to you and still want to talk to him about talking what you see in him? He'll be seeing the back of my shoe as I exited his life. That's some kind of, you're not going to talk to me like that. I'm really shocked that you were so, you underreacted. I'm just not understanding why you didn't cuss him out. Tell him about himself, something that depicted your ire should have been coming from you at him talking to you like this. This is not funny. This is nothing that somebody in the 35 to 41 age group would do to a woman that he respected. So he's telling you right there that there's no respect, no admiration, whatever it is, you just booty. So unless that's okay with you, I mean, some people that's all they want. So I'm not gonna say that that's bad, but it doesn't sound like from your way you wrote this that that's what you're looking for. Because otherwise you wouldn't have been upset. You would have just fired back, yeah, dick, or something. You know what I mean? It would have been some mutual thing. You guys would have laughed about it because nobody was trying to be involved with the other one like that. But the fact that you got upset to me shows that it's a little bit more to it. And if I were you, I would leave this alone. This is going to, this is his way of communicating to you, this is going to ultimately break you down and make you start feeling bad about yourself. You're like you're not good enough, and that you must be deficient or bad or something for someone to talk to you like that. So when you have men who start off like this, he's already showing you what kind of jerk he is. Leave this fool alone. He is way too. That's why he's as old as he is and still single. Nobody want to be bothered with his bullshit. I don't know what it was, but yeah, that can't be autocorrect. What word? Boobs? From what word could that have been? That ain't baby, because it wouldn't have changed the A to an O and the B to an O. That wouldn't have happened. I don't know. I can't think of nothing that to try to blame that on autocorrect. I think that he meant what he said. And our final question of the day, which looks like it's super duper long. Oh my God. Female, 22 to 27. She's black from the Atlanta metro area. The male, 22 to 27. He is also black. Not sure if this is really even a problem, but I'd like to get your take on it because I don't know what to do. I mean, my boyfriend is a great guy and he treats me really well, but I don't think that we're compatible in the sense of having fun. Flatly, he is boring as fuck. I am a really spontaneous person, not glorifying my past, and I'm a recovering addict. So I've been and seen some crazy shit, and I still like to do some of that sober sometimes. Literally not even that much, just something that gets my heart racing. Okay, so you are an adrenaline junkie. We're only like 2 months in, and all we do when he comes over is watch stuff on Netflix. We go on hikes and walks every once in a while, but he is so anxious about doing anything new all the time that it's starting to make me question the relationship. He really only works and goes to the gym and gets drunk with his college buddies every once in a while. He's been under the influence around me, and it doesn't bother me at all because he's way more fun then. He's told me that he wishes he could be that way sober really badly, but anxiety holds him back. He's even told me before without bringing it up, "You're so much more exciting than me," or "I'm scared I'm going to bore you." But he never does anything about it. He says he's been wanting to become more spontaneous for a long time before he met me, but he isn't even trying. I still get butterflies when I see him, and the bedroom connection is great. We get along really well and have a really good connection when we're around each other. But when it comes to actually going out and doing things spontaneous or adventurous, he just doesn't respond. He told me he is scared that his life will be boring and that he wants me to help him loosen up, but he isn't even trying. Like he's been wanting to get his ears pierced for a long time, and one day we have been doing absolutely nothing all day, and I'm like, "Hey, let's just go get your ears pierced." And he's like, "No, not now." But like, what else would we do? We had no plans, and he has said he wants to do it sometime. The fact that I don't have that partner in crime like I've always wanted, but I have everything else I want in a relationship, makes me feel like maybe I need to get over this and appreciate how good he treats me, but I'm so bored and it's only 2 months in. I don't want to just ignore the situation and make it unfair to him, or sometimes I just feel like we should, and I just feel like I should end it so I'm not eating his time that he could spend finding someone who isn't bothered by this. I don't want to be a witch though. This is really bothering me. Oh my God. Okay, I'm wondering why you feel the need to run the streets and do all this crazy whack ass shit with your man. Why does he have to do all of that? Why don't you have friends? Okay, why don't you have friends? It's inappropriate to think that your man is supposed to be your Bobsy twin, run the streets buddy, and that you all have to like to do the same things all the time. That's not a relationship. That's slavery. That you putting all these demands on him. You do you. Get you some friends and you do all this wild, adventurous, spontaneous shit. And then you come home. That's called acceptance. And you're not accepting him for who and what he is. You want to change him to be something else. So, if it's that important to you, then you are going to have to leave the relationship. But it won't be because he's anything wrong with him. The problem is you. You done got your crazy drug addicted habits and you trying to bring them into the relationship. If you need that much entertainment, the problem is you. You need him to hold your hand and do everything with you. The problem is you. He's perfectly happy and perfectly content and perfectly fine being the man that he is. He will start to branch out and do stuff on his own when he's ready. Now, I have to say, I'm more adventurous. I don't feel the need to rip around the streets like even when I was young, not that much. Not like what you're talking about. But what I did with the man I later married, because he was a little bit, he's a Taurus. I mean, they're homebodies. They tend to like to be around family and friends. And, he would do stuff, but he wouldn't like to do stuff that was too, what he felt was a little bit too wild. So what I did was I worked out a system. You might want to try this. I worked out a system with him where I made him promise, and we made this agreement that once a month, at least once a month, preferably twice, but at least once, he would do something that I wanted to do for a whole day with no questions asked. Or we could do 2 half days, whichever, one whole day, 2 half days. And what I would do is I had one of these, like a Tupperware that I got from my grandmother. And I put ideas for things that I wanted to do in the little Tupperware. And then when it came my day, it was my promise day where he was going to do it, no questions asked. We would go to the little Tupperware. I shake it up, all the little papers in there. And they were folded, right? And I said, okay, pick one. Whichever one you pick, that's what we're going to do. And that was fun. It was and it took the pressure off of him feeling like he had to do what I wanted him to do because it wasn't. He put some stuff in there too. And I put, but I did put most of them. And so he would draw one out. I never drew one. And then we would do what was on the paper. So that pressure that he would have felt like, she just pressured me to do something, that was eliminated because it was an agreement that he willingly made to make things more fun. And one of them was, we're going to go to Hawaii for a week. Well, he was like, well, who paying for that? I said, me. I have some money. And I got the tickets and I, booked the trip and we went. And he really wasn't. But then after we got there, then them nigga didn't want to come home. But you know what I mean? It's like some people just have a kind of a fear of new, different, and the unknown. But that little difference, and I don't even know where I got that idea from, but it really worked because it made it fun for him to try new stuff versus feeling pressured and burdened by the fact that I want him to try something different. So try, see if he's amenable to something like that. You guys sit down and think about the stuff. You can put the stuff in there that he's always wanted to do. You put the stuff in there that you like to do or want to try too. Fold them up so you can't peek and shoot, look at them, and then put them in there and put the top on with the little thing where you can reach your hand in there, and then there you go. That's what I did. Yeah, I mean, it worked for us, and then after a while, he got so used to it, he would want to do it more than once or twice a month. So then it became like almost every week he was reaching his little fat, grubby mitts in that thing to figure out what we was going to do on the weekend. So it became, kind of a fun thing for us to develop as a couple. And again, I don't even know where it just came to me. It's like, I'm sitting there looking at him like, yo ass, you going to do something. But I knew pressuring him as a Taurus, you don't try to tell them what to do. They're worse than Leos. So you got two of us who don't want nobody telling you what to do. I had to figure out a way to make me telling him what to do fun for him to make him want to do it. You see what I mean? So that was what I was thinking. That's how it worked out, and it worked out great. Yeah, he liked it. He thought that was, and I never told him that was my strategy. It's like, you gonna do something here that I want you to do, but I would never say that. Oh my God, that would have been World War III. But that worked out. So for those of you who missed it, I got to play my new intro again, you guys. So those of you who already saw it once or twice, just bear with me. I made a new What the Fuck Tuesday show intro. You came late, you missed it. So what you think? I just love it. And I had to put new music and everything, new pictures. So that's what we're going to be using for the rest of this year until the spring. Probably, yeah, usually in February, I make a new video intro. So we'll be using this one for this What the Fuck Tuesday until, till February. That's when this will sunset, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to decide. Where's my thing? I can't find my stuff. Okay, so what do we have? Oh, DNN. DNN, Dusty News Network. This is going to be our show on Friday. In case you're new here, we'll do it. This is our summer programming. We look at memes and comments and posts that people have made all over the internet that are stupid, and then we drag them. That's all the show is fun. And we laugh our butts off and we just roast people. That's what it is. The people, and they had a nerve, most of them, to, they put their crazy stuff up and their faces shining next to it. And they just be all like, next to these stupid comments. It's just wild. I would be hiding. I'd be having all my hair over my face like Cousin It or something. I wouldn't let somebody know I was that dumb out in public and stuff and all happy about it. So that's going to be on Friday. And then we'll be back again the next Tuesday for the next issue of What the Fuck Tuesday. Those are our 2 live streams every week. Sometimes I do an upload too. So please hit that subscription button and the instant notification bell so you don't miss it. And be good. I'll see y'all on Friday. Bye-bye.